The world has shifted. It is now becoming unaffordable for you to sustain long-term optimum performance at your front desk with talented people you can afford. Hey everybody, so today I want to talk about something that is on the forefront of most physical therapy private practice owners' minds today, and that is how to optimize performance at your front desk. This is a challenge in itself, and I think it really has to do with three major components. 1, the post, 2, the people, and 3, the performance. So let's talk about performance last, because you're not going to get that if you don't have the post fully identified and diagnosed and understood, and if you don't match it up with the absolute best person. So let's talk about the post. Let's talk about the position. It's becoming increasingly more challenging and difficult for any of us to actually make this a viable position inside our clinic. And I'm hoping to explain the challenges and as the reasons to why that is. For years and years, what we have been able to do is we've been able to look at, hey, we actually have 2 positions in one, because we can't afford 2 distinctly different people to payroll, benefits, time off, drama, everything that goes along with that. So what we've been attempting to do for the last 30 years that I've been a physical therapist is we're going to pay somewhere around $13 to $18 an hour, depending on where you are in the country. And we're going to bring this person in, and we're going to get them entrenched into this position of patient registration, how to schedule, handle cancellations, no-shows, over-the-counter collected, deductibles, putting in all the demographics, taking the new patient calls, faxing, and filing, right? Well, that's a lot in itself. On top of that, what we then ask them to do is be our insurance verification officer. Well, this position also includes, you got to contact the insurance companies, both by phone, by email, through the web portal, whatever it takes. You got to get, initial insurance verification. Every insurance is different. Medicare has its rules. Blue Cross has its rules. Some are managed care, some are not. Some are in a network, some are out of network. And the person is like, oh, you hired this $15 an hour person, thereabouts. And all of a sudden, stress comes in, pressure comes in. Time sensitivity now works in because we're insurance verification, and now we're dealing with authorizations and reauthorizations. Now we got time sensitivity. Now you add to it the dynamic of, the clinicians aren't giving me their paperwork on time, or this is incorrect, or this date of birth got inverted, or they didn't fill out the authorization form and we didn't get more authorization. Now I got to put the patient on hold. I'm pulling people off a waiting list. Too much. It's become too much for that salary position, for that actual dynamic that you're hiring for. Sorry about the birds. I apologize. I was just walking through a park and I'm like, you know what? This is on my mind. I got to shoot this. I got to get this out there to everybody because it's really like bouncing around in the frontal lobe of my head. It's the position. In society has become more complex, more dynamic, more diverse. And so it's becoming more challenging than ever before to actually make this work. So what do? Well, all of a sudden, we have to pay more money. So now we're escalating the cost of doing business in this one unique position because we're going to have to pay more money for people to do this job. So now you're paying more money, and now the person's coming in and they want a mental health day, or they want a break, or I'm being overworked, or I'm getting burnt out, or I'm going to stay 6 months, 8 months, I'm going to go do something that requires less mental thought, because thinking equals confusion. The more you think about something, the more likelihood there is, or a greater chance there is, that you're going to foster some degree of confusion about something. If you're working an assembly line and you're doing the same thing over and over, or if you're in the post office and you're just sorting mail every single day, there's no thought going in there. You're just a robot doing things. And some people are actually striving at that pay scale per se, and I'm not overgeneralizing here, for a little bit more of a simplistic life, a little bit more of an ordered, systematic thing. I don't want to have to problem solve every day. I don't want to have to deal with other people's drama every day. I'm sandwiched between the patients and their issues and their dynamics and the staff, the clinicians not doing their job and their dynamics. And this person feels wedged, and before you know it, they blow, and you start all over. Every single time you start all over, you're spending another $13,000. Man, these birds are loud, aren't they? You're spending another $13,000 between lost revenue, gradually increasing revenue, the cost of somebody leaving, the cost of somebody coming in. This becomes a merry-go-round. The post is becoming increasingly more difficult because you're looking for highly capable talent, that have a great attitude that matches with your practice attitude so that they can fit into your company culture and you can shape them, mold them, groom them. It's not like you're not willing to pay $19 an hour or even $20 an hour. I had people out in California and in the Pacific Northwest, Oregon, Washington, several states out in that area, and they're telling me they're paying something like $26 an hour. I mean, this position isn't a $26 an hour position. It's just the math doesn't work, and hence the income squeeze. So here I am talking to you about how to optimize performance at your front desk, and yet the environment is being ignored because it's actually shifted. The world has changed beneath our feet. The environment has to be recognized that you can't afford to have this escalating overhead of payroll costs, compensation costs, benefit costs, drama costs, mental health days, break days, don't burn me out days, or massive turnover. It doesn't work. It's not viable. Now I'm talking about how could it potentially work? Let's find our way through. If you're still trying to service this on an in-house basis, you literally have to go on a hunt within your zip code, because that's the only pond you're fishing in, because they're going to come into work, right? And find somebody who's hopefully already employed. My opinion has always been, I want to find the employed people to come work for me. I'm not as excited about the unemployed people looking for work. Not to say that they're bad people or anything wrong, but there's a reason why they're unemployed, whether it be them, lack of responsibility, accountability, bad choices, bad situations, whatever it may be. But I'm picking them up from that point. Oh my goodness, the birds. And I'm trying to make the best of a bad situation normally. Now, that's not always the case. Some of you are watching and say, I've hired some really great people that just left a job and they were just a great find for me. Great, find those people, but they're fewer and fewer than those that are already actively working. Because those who are actively working already have a proven current history of motivation, because they're getting up every day going to work, right? And it also tells me that they're aspiring for something better. Why get up every day if you want to live a mediocre life? I want to hire the people who are motivated to do things better, to be a better performer. The old system was, I'm just hiring you to do a job. I'm going to put you in a system, do as you're told. I don't want you to think outside the box. Just kind of rinse, repeat, and I'm going to give you a 2% raise every year, and thank you for wearing our jersey each and every month. There's no game in that for them. The world, like I said, the world has changed. You have to create a greater game. You have to create some personal growth and satisfaction with some professional growth and satisfaction, so the person feels I'm a part of a profession. I'm a part of an organization that it matters. Everything I do here matters. I'm an integral part to the success of this organization. Finding that person in your zip code is very challenging. My strong advice today, not just because our company is doing that, of course we're doing it because we strongly believe in this, is that the future of physical therapy is to outsource 3 teams of people: your front desk team, your billing team, and your social search engine optimization, social media, digital media team. When you outsource your front desk team, you will get highly trained professionals who are routinely being trained, who are accountable, being measured statistically, and having direct oversight from another group that coaches this stuff and trains on this stuff. You don't have to worry about turnover, payroll, taxes, sick, vacation, equipment, drama, everything that comes along with that. Not to mention the inaccuracies that you're writing off in terms of lack of authorizations, appeals, denials, rejections, timely filing, because the person didn't get it. They didn't get it the first time. And now you have to, how many times do you just feel like, oh my gosh, I'm doing such adult babysitting here at this position. I'm constantly retraining, constantly re-educating, because it's difficult. It's difficult. There's a lot of parts in there. We can service a highly trained person who's just a front desk receptionist who just does patient care coordination and does that super duper well, and then have another set of professionals that just do insurance verification, authorization, reauthorization. My point is, many of you now as practice owners don't attempt to do your accounting and you don't attempt to do your legal work because you hire it and outsource it to a professional. They may cost more per hour, but they get more done in shorter period of time and at better accuracy rate. That logic applies here today. The world has shifted. It is now becoming unaffordable for you to sustain long-term optimum performance at your front desk with talented people you can afford. I don't see it. I don't see the math. I hope you do the math and you prove me wrong and show me how that can be done, because I'm increasingly getting more and more stressed about how this is done. So leading into bullet point 3, because I said it's going to take, for an optimum front desk, it's going to take for you to fully understand all of what you're asking somebody to do on the post, Do you have a new hire orientation checklist, and do you train them, sign them off on it? Do you test them on it? Do you have a post-orientation checklist? Every single check, every single action and duty that has to be done, do they sign off and do you check off on it? Are you managing them weekly by statistics? Statistics manage number C, the third element, their performance. Employees are managed one of two ways in this world today. Either by personality, they buy you Starbucks, Krispy Kreme, and laugh at your jokes, and you really like this person, or they are golden to you because of their performance. They get their post, they understand what they have to do, and they can do it in a manner that's time efficient, highly productive, and high quality. Performance. Highly efficient, highly productive, and high quality. If they can do that, you have it. Now, I'm going to ask you this. Imagine a time that you can have advanced technology in the hands of highly trained people that you didn't have to hire, train, or manage. Sign me up. Sign me up. I'd be all over that. That's where I feel in my heart, in my DNA, we are going to have to move as PT private practice owners if we're going to have a front desk operating with optimal performance. We literally have to put it in the hands of the professionals, just like your accountant and just like your lawyer. If you want to learn more about that and you want to understand how your front desk revolving door can stop, how the quality and accuracy of your work can improve and stop the write-offs, stop the delayed payments, stop the frustration between the Hatfields and the McCoys, between the non-clinicians and the clinicians, create a physical therapy practice that follows the professional patient care model where you only have clinicians inside your four walls. Every other service is being outsourced on a pay-as-you-need basis. If you want to learn more about that, reach into www.megbusiness.com, and I will coach you and teach you and train you and help you and assist you in creating the optimum front desk that has the right post well-defined, that has the right person in that post, being well-managed and well-controlled, so that you have performance rolling off the lines in a statistical manner that's actually tangible that you can measure. As a PT private practice owner, I believe that is what we're all striving to have. I hope you are too, and I hope this message kind of wakes up something inside of you, the lion inside of you, to understand that this is no longer the same world. This is not the fee-for-service world. It's not Kansas anymore, Dorothy. It is an entirely new space, entirely new way of operating and succeeding in practice. You can do it. You can do it, and you can enhance the lives of your patients and your staff by reducing the number of people coming to work every day and the increased payroll and expense and bottom line liability by changing your practice model to the professional patient care model for optimum front desk performance. That's it. Thank you for listening to me. I hope it all makes sense. I hope to hear from you soon. Take care, everybody.